Hi friends, welcome to data science tutorial series. In this tutorial series we are using pandas for doing a lot of data processing. So as part of this video we are going to take a very small topic, that is how do I read a XLS file, and then how do I create or how do I write to XLS file. We already have seen there are videos where we have seen how do we go about handling a CSV file, that means a .csv file. Now here we need to understand how do we go about reading as well as creating a or writing to xlsx file. So when I want to read a existing xlsx file, then basically I require to do some installation. So obviously you are going to read an Excel file. As we know, .xlsx is a basically Excel file. So for that you need to install a Excel support library. For that you need to go to command prompt, and you should go to the command prompt and run the command prompt as an administrator. Then you install a library basically which is called as xlrd. So how do you do that? So suppose if you go to your command prompt, then you issue a instruction pip install xlrd. So when you do this pip install xlrd, then this component or this library will get installed, and using that you can actually start interacting with a Excel file. So the function that we will use to interact with the Excel file is basically read underscore Excel. It takes various parameters. Some important parameters are, first is the file name. Obviously you need to give the file name. Then comes the sheet name. So here the file name is obviously the file name from where you want to read the data from the Excel file. Then if you do not give a sheet name, then the first sheet in the index will be read. So it is suggested that you provide the sheet name, because when you have a xlsx file, it may have multiple worksheets. So typically when you have a CSV file, then you have only one worksheet. However, when it is an XLSS file, then you can have or you may have multiple worksheets or sheet name. Then in that case you need to specify from which sheet name you want to read basically. Then there is another thing called as header. By default it is 0. So basically when it's an integer that needs to be given. So if you give say 0 or if you give the 1, then basically header 0 means the row 1, then header 1 means the row 2, like that. So it is used for header rows. Then similarly if you want to write or if you want to create a xlsx file, so you need to install another library, and that library you can install by running go to the command prompt and obviously open the command prompt as administrator, and then you install openpyxl. So pip install openpyxl will install this plugin basically, which will help you to write to xlsx file. If you do not have this plugin, then you cannot write to xlsx file. So the function that we will use will be, we will obviously have a data frame, and then on the data frame the function to be used is to underscore xl, and then the to underscore xl basically takes the file name, then it takes the sheet name. Suppose if you want to create with a particular sheet name, then that you can give. Then there are other things like index, if you whether you want an index or not, then header. So again on the similar lines that I have explained for for reading. So false if you give, then there is no header, otherwise it is default is true, that means it is going to create with header. Then if you want to do selective exporting of columns, let's say you have 10 columns in a file and you want to do only say 5 columns of that, then you can specify from where to where, like that. So the columns can be given, that is selective exporting of the columns. So we will now take a look at the demonstration where we will see how do I read from a xlsx file and then creating a data frame, and then that data frame we will write it to a xlsx file, and that will be of a different name. So let's now go and do this in the Jupyter. So before we open the code, let me just quickly show you. So this is the input file or the file that we are going to read. So this is a stock underscore data 3, and now you can see this is that sheet 1 is given. So normally you will have when you say sheet 2 automatically, but there are some people who want to give name. So suppose if they have say if they are working on, let's say, finance, and if they are doing some say salary calculation, then they may say, okay, what is the basic for the people, and probably using that basic data they may try to compute say the total salary. So they may rename it this particular thing to say TOT underscore sal, like that. So the point just to tell you is like that you can basically have the multiple sheets, and that's why this sheet name plays an important role when you are going to make use of xlsx file. Normally if you have only one sheet, well and good, because the first sheet normally will be the sheet name. Okay, so this is that data, and there is some data which is related to some stock market. So you have here the name of the stock, it is typically called as a ticker. Then this is the earning per share or EPS. Then there is a profit data. Then there is what is the price, share price, and then who are the important person for that particular company. So Reliance, like we have Ambani. Then HDFC Bank, there is Deepak Parekh, like that. So you can basically, these are some names. So let's now go to the program. So here we are going to just import pandas. Then we are going to make use of the function which I just explained you when I was explaining you the slide. So pd dot read excel. So we are going to read this file which I just shown you, and now you see this extension is xlsx file, and then we are going to read the sheet 1. If you do not give, then obviously it will read it from sheet 1, but I want to highlight this point that you basically have an habit of giving sheet when you typically are trying to read from a xlsx file. Then you can also give the header. By default a header is true, so I am not giving header here, but in our other videos we will use headers as per our requirement. So right now basically we are not giving header, so we will just read this file. So you can see the file is read, and whatever the data that I have shown, that has come in the data frame. Now we are going to do writing, that means we are creating the file. So for that we are going to make use of two Excel function on data frame, because data frame is already prepared. You need to install open py-xl. I already have told you when I was explaining you the slide. So this is the name of the file. Say suppose if I give the name of the file as new5u.xlsx, and then sheet name is stocks. So I want to now name the sheet as stocks. So this is what I can control, or this is the way I want it to basically create a file. So I'll just say run. So obviously it has executed. So if I just go to the folder, you can see this file is just created. So now my laptop time is 3:54, and then you can see this 3:54. So if I just open this file, you can see, so now this is the sheet name has become stocks, and then all that other data has come, like ticker, EPS, profit, people, and all that. So that is where this basically the writing and reading plays a role. So this was a very small presentation where we basically understand how do I read a xlsx file, and then for that you require a xlrd plugin, and when you want to write, that means when you want to create an Excel file, then you require a open py-xl plugin, and using the function to_excel, we can actually create or write to the Excel file. So I hope you like this video. Thank you.